Hi there, welcome back to Japan again. Can you guys hear me? Am I audible? Is my voice coming through loud and clear or at all? Let me know and I will wait to find out, and then we can start nattering and talking and enjoying the wonders of live chat. By the way, as James is gone, I can now wear my Ronald McDonald is Satan t-shirt. Hi everyone. Yes, hello again. Thanks, by the way, to everyone who checked out the Odyssey, the Oddity video that we posted earlier. Hey, Lazy Lion. Hey, PK, Harry, everyone. Good. Everyone can hear me. Evening. Still doing laundry, says Bubs. But yeah, Bubbles is doing some laundry. Excitement. By the way, I'm going to say, I always say, you know how this works. If you are in here enjoying the chat, please press the like button. It does help immensely. Just for the channel stats, I have to keep the channel stats up. When I'm doing live, it did greatly. Anyway, so first things first. I finished all of the Band-Maid songs. I am doing the Anima on Air acoustic review as well. That will be coming up sometime soon. So Anima on Air, the acoustic live performance, that will get a review that you'll be seeing soon as well. But everyone was mentioning, I think I missed something, that apparently something's coming out on 1st of April. I think Band-Maid have been they've been teasing something new for a while. And a lot of people thought it was a Band Michael EP or album or something. So guys, let me know what's coming out with Band-Maid on the 1st of April. And also, there's still a lot of new material coming out. Obviously, we had the Scandal album not that long ago. I'm still making my way through that. I'm doing the track by track of that as well. A lot of things coming out at the moment. The sort of Bish side of things, they got a lot of things going on, haven't they? Because we had a Uni D's Pedro has had a bunch of songs coming out, and they're obviously releasing stuff from their new album. We had Ina released a solo track, and obviously Bish themselves having something coming out. So a lot of interesting possible releases coming from the Bish stable, as well as a lot of other groups that we know about. A lot of smaller bands as well are releasing things at the moment. So there's a lot going on. Guys, let me know what you are excited for and what I should be checking out so that I can be prepared when it arrives. But yeah, I'm doing the Scandal Kiss from the Darkness listen along thing. Even though I know, we're doing all of the Scandal albums, even though it is a bit of a shame that they don't get quite as many views as the other things, but I know there's a lot of real sort of loyal following for Scandal on this channel, so it would only be right for us to get involved and do our best with that. Now, we also have, assuming it doesn't get copyright blocked, we've got a really interesting blast from the past style new set of reviews that me and James have done, which should hopefully be going up tomorrow. What this is in relation to is, you might remember very, very early when we were doing the radio show, when we came across onto the doing the YouTube, it was mainly we were listening to Japanese artists covering Western songs, which we thought was like a nice sort of segue. And we had on the radio show about that. While we were going around a secondhand CD shop while James was here, we did actually find another Japanese artist cover Nirvana album. So it's another Nirvana cover album done by Japanese artists. There's some interesting stuff. There's like artists like Miyavi on there. There's covers of some of the most famous Nirvana songs. So we picked 3 songs that we wanted to do reviews of, and we'll be posting hopefully all 3 of them tomorrow. So tomorrow there'll be like a little bit of a Japanese artist cover Nirvana day, which is going to be kind of fun. And then, carrying on, we've got more live week videos that we've already recorded, still waiting to come up. So yeah, it's become like live quarter now. So yeah, it's all goodness. Let's have a look and see what everyone's saying there. So Crypto Plays, yo, what up? I subscribed. Thank you and welcome. Thank you and for your subscription and welcome. Lazy Lion, my flight to Japan got cancelled. Oh, had to book another flight. Stupid COVID-19. Did you get a refund, sir? Did you get a refund for that? And when was your flight? I've forgotten. When were you flying out? Yeah, it's difficult at the moment. Flights are getting cancelled left, right, and center. There's some trips I want to do, but I can't do them because of the whole COVID-19 thing. I think it is true to say that although I do have massive respect for the fact that like the governments and organizations doing everything they can to sort of slow down the spread of the illness while research is done. At the same time, I do feel like the most of the negative effect that's come from Lazy saying no refund yet, working on that. Good for you. Might not get it, but hopefully. So Tim's saying Shiana Nishizawa covers Teen Spirit and Foo Fighters. Spunky. so basically, she's just like anything Dave Grohl. If you got a link for that, pass it along. We've got some we've got some really interesting videos that me and James shot. Arriving April the 4th. Oh man, that's really close as well. Yeah, you're gonna have to rebook that. You're gonna have to rebook that. That is sad. That is sad though. But hope that all goes well, man. Hope that all goes well. Yeah, like I said, I got some flights that I wanted to book that just haven't been able to because it's just been too risky. Travel bans going up left, right, and center. I guess one positive side is I might get a visa extension based off of this because it's going to be difficult for the Japanese government to to tell me when my potential renewal date is when no one knows exactly how you could even leave a country. But yeah, so I might get a free renewal out of it. Who knows? We'll find out. I'm going to go to the government offices actually on Monday. It's now Sunday morning, but it's technically Saturday night. So in a couple of days, I'm going to be going to the government offices to try and get an idea of what my next extension on my visa is going to be, how long it will be for, and everything. So yeah, when I do that, hopefully, I know it sounds terrible to say, but hopefully the current situation in the world might benefit me in that they might be a little bit more lenient with the time thing, given that no one knows what the hell's going on in the world right now. But yeah, let's have a look and see what people are saying. So Mayor says, Bratz recently uploaded a video. Ooh, no more. Shot while they were in Los Angeles, California. Yeah, I haven't checked out Bratz for a while, actually. I should be checking out some more Bratz. Let's have a look at some Bratz. Just going to go on to YouTube and find Bratz. No more. Oh, it's been a long and busy day, and I am just desperately trying to find a video. Bratz. No more. Yeah, found it 4 days ago. 10,000 views. Good for them. They probably deserve more. I haven't heard the song yet, but good band. All right, so I'll definitely check out that one sometime soon. Like I said, I do try to sort of split where my reviews come between 3 places, which, like I say, is the suggestion thread, is anything that's trending at the moment, which I think is worth checking out, and of course the things that appear like new releases from artists that we follow on the channel. So that's one I'll definitely check out. There is quite an interesting one that I picked up on recently. Actually, I don't want to spoiler it, but yeah, I've listened to a couple of really interesting ones from the trending department, actually. So there's some relations are the same quality or better than I Should Be So Lucky. Yeah, the Japanese rap version of I Should Be So Lucky. I would say that they are probably different, is the word I'm going to use. Now, just to quickly cover, just in case anyone wasn't aware of the whole situation, we do currently have a copyright strike we are carrying around. And I'm more than happy now with the extensive research I've done into this to say that the reason we have that copyright strike is because it was leveled at us directly by a member of Maximum the Hormones team. It was not their record company, was not any sort of international or national record piracy body or anything like that. It was from someone who works directly in Maximum the Hormones team. I'm not naming names, but I have got their contact information, and so I will be following this up with them. But as I said before, look, I've got no problem. If someone wants to say, hey, I'm going to block that video because you shouldn't post our music, then I'll be like, fine, fair enough. Don't like it, but fine. I mean, Victor do that, and we josh with Victor, but leave him alone because fair enough. But when it comes to copyright strikes, that's just plain malicious. Especially considering, like I say, it was leveled manually, not automatically. This was not computer bot. This was manually. And we have all the confirmation of this. Someone in Maximum the Hormones team checked out our video and manually asked for it to get a copyright strike against a channel that is not monetized, that is just sharing their music. So as you can imagine, we've made contact with Maximum the Hormone in both English and Japanese. And we are waiting for a response. And if we don't get a response that we like, then we've got nothing to lose because they can only copyright strike us once. We'll dive in and we will give a rather nice full exposure to everything that we found out during this process. And we did a lot of research. And it's amazing how much information you can find if you follow the crumbs that YouTube, I think for legal reasons, leave behind. And I must admit, as I said last time when we got the copyright strike, best part of a year ago, and that was very different. That came from the record company. But as I said at that time, I don't hold anything actually against YouTube. I think YouTube, given how complicated copyright is, I think they do a good job actually managing to give creators, that this whole free strikes thing. It keeps you safe. It keeps you with an element of border. I mean, it would be great if they could do more, but I think they're doing a good job of balancing, appeasing both sides. Making something that's fair, that allows people to create potentially copyright risky content and give them a chance to sort of work around that, and also gives a chance for some sort of reply from the artist or record company. But like I say, there are many options open to the claimant. The one that Maximum the Hormone have taken, and it is Maximum the Hormone's team, is quite honestly just malicious. So I have no love for them, and I feel bad because obviously James really likes this group and they're one of his favorite groups, which is why we tried to cover them so many times. But yep, not having this. So let's have a look and see what everyone says. Always, most of it is Bubs. So Lazy Lion saying boo, Maximum the Hormone. Yeah, unfortunately, I now agree with that. Bubs, can we assume that the cover versions? Oh, we already read that. Woohoo, copyright strike. Wait, what's the band name? Maximum Hormone. Is that for real? Have you tried to communicate with them in the form of just Google them. They appear to be a real band, Maximum the Hormone. I am amazed. I don't understand what you're amazed about here, Bubbles. They're actually quite a famous band in Japanese context, but well, they were. Their fame is not now what it was before, but they're still relatively popular. They're kind of that middle bracket. They're not like Asian Kung Fu Generation Bandmate famous, but they're kind of they're bigger than a lot of the small artists we cover. They're big enough that they understand how the industry works, but they're not so big that they're like international celebrities or anything like that. Just like I said, I just find their response, their choice to do this is mind-blowingly petty. So it's like I say, I've given them a chance. I've communicated in the message we sent to them. We've communicated, look, maybe you didn't understand this, but just please be aware this channel is not monetized. We're not making any money out of what we covered. It was simply for positive reasons. If you don't like it, you have the option to block it and just say, hey, don't want them to have that. Or they have the option to do what most artists do, which is claim directly from us and basically just have their adverts come up, and then they can make money from our video. So they had choices to block us, they had choices to make money out of us, but instead they chose to go for malice. I just want to be really clear on that. We're not being dicks about this. We get copyright issues with artists all the time, and like I say, we've only ever had 2 copyrights, and the first one was kind of just like a dumb automatic one that was leveled by a very large record company. This is pure malice. So just being clear on that. So look and see what everyone's saying. Lazy Lion, they're a great band. This is really disappointing. I agree. I mean, in the video, obviously we're always fair. I wasn't just sort of kissing their ass or anything, but I was saying how I enjoyed it. I was saying about the good qualities. We were talking about the positive things. We were making no money, sharing positive word about their song, and they've tried to close down our non-profit channel. Just what a bunch of dicks. That's the best I can really say about it. Bubs, I'm amazed because someone thought that it was a good name, even though well, in all fairness, band names are about as subjective to opinion as anything can be. So, we'll give Maximum the Hormone freedom to choose that name. We will not, however, give them freedom to pettily try to take us off of the air. Tim says, a few Shayna links BRB. Oh, cheers. Apparently, Saitama signed a label under the Sony umbrella, now using stage name Xena. It's kind of a strange name. Also, being on Sony, it's quite likely that Sony will probably block any attempt to review her music. Block, not copyright strike. They'll just say, hey, we don't want you doing that, rather than trying to maliciously attack us. I'm not being petty or anything, but I'm going to keep on mentioning this. So let's have a look. Lazy Lion, one of the few metal bands I listen to regularly. Yeah, I mean, this is, just to be clear, this is actually kind of sad, because obviously the first artist who we had a problem with, of only, we've got like best part of 1,000 videos on this channel, and we only got 2 instances where anything ever happened. The first artist, as you guys know, is one of my favorite singers who I listened to for years. But in all fairness, we can't we can't really complain too much about that because it was leveled by the record company. And then this one is one of James's favorite artists of all time. So I feel really bad. I actually sent James a message first of all saying to him, look, I'm really sorry about this, dude. I didn't want to get into this. I'd have rather just not covered the song at all if I knew it was going to do this. Because I felt bad. He tried to sort of reason out the case, but I think even for him, it became clear that this was just lazy and malicious. They will be... They've got a chance. They got a chance to respond to us. I'm giving them time, giving them a chance to respond. But if they don't, then there's no legal reason why I can't post the main name that the email is attached to that will make it very clear what's going on here. So, like I say, I want to give them every chance. I really do. It's just sucks, This is a positive thing. The whole point of this channel is it's positive. We want everyone to feel positive. We want to share music. We want to get Western people listening to Japanese music that maybe they haven't heard before, or reuniting them with artists that they maybe haven't listened to recently, or just allowing them to enjoy a fresh perspective on. Really. But hey, there you go. It's going to get dealt with. Let's have a look at some of the comments. PK, have you copied all the recommendations on the Reddit thread? Recommendation thread? Not all of them. I've got like about 80% of them. I think there are still a few that I've got a copy from there, which came out in the last couple of months. But I'll check that out. I don't think I've copied anything from 2020. So there might be quite a few actually that were posted in the last 2 months that I haven't seen. So I'll get around to that. But thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Harry, your non-profit channel where they have the option to make a profit off your video themselves. Exactly. I will repeat this. The options that are available to a copyright claimant include blocking, so that basically it's saying, thanks for making that a video, but no. They can block in individual countries or in the entire world, or they can go for option number 2, which is they can leave our video up and they can literally post adverts of their choosing onto our video and make money out of us. And I have no problem with that. I support that. I was saying actually recently, I don't know if this is on one of the live streams, but I was saying that Siren hadn't claimed enough of our videos. I sent a message to the area of EMI that Silent and Siren are now involved with. They've changed record companies enough time, actually telling them you haven't claimed enough of our videos so that they could make their money. Because as I said before, I don't have I'm sympathy for anyone doing what they want to do, but I don't have vast amount of sympathy for YouTube reactors who complain about to block things or just take free money, who are not doing that. So, all right, okay. You don't want money. You just want to attack us. Oh, okay, dicks. Let's have a look at some of the comments because I'm repeating myself a little bit and getting angry. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Tim says MTH apparently sounds like a Japanese word for cooking offal innards. They say it evoked a sexual energy drink. I'm gonna have to think about that. Oh yeah, hormone is like a word used for like you say offal. That's the word. You see it written in Japanese, but when you read the phonetic Japanese, it comes out as pretty much as hormone. Although I don't get the sexual energy drink reference, I'll have to check that one out. Bubs, this is the biggest beef of 2020, bigger than the Jets and the Sharks. Don't know who the Jets and the Sharks are. Guessing teams, but teams who play sport ball. I don't know. But yes, this is the biggest beef of the year. And at the current moment, they have struck first, but we have the upper hand in that we have all of the information on what an arsehole move this was. Hopefully, they'll back down. Enough rope, so to speak. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, like I said, I want to be fair because there is every possibility that, the person who did this could have, A, been drunk, or B, could have just been sitting there going, oh, arsehole stealing our music, and pressed it without even checking out, that the channel was demonetized and that we're complimenting their music. I don't know. Like I say, I'm going to give them a chance to reply, but if they don't reply, we've messaged them in Japanese and English. If they don't reply, then it's kind of on them, isn't it, really? Romer, Bandmade is doing a live stream next Friday of the set they would have played at the Knotfest performance. Oh, I guess Knotfest would have been cancelled, which is makes it really weird. I've got like the flyer for Knotfest, which I got from the Bandmade concert I went to. That's a shame. I know a lot of people really wanted to go to that, obviously. So no, well, I mean, it's for good health reasons at least. But yeah, nice to see a lot of artists are doing like live performances, which is great, online, just to give people something to listen to. So I'm really hoping the Silent Siren gigs don't get cancelled. We'll see how that goes. Mayor says, you smoking crack or tweak? Neither. Where's my cigarette? They're over there. I'm smoking normal stuff. Howard is more of a coffee guy. PK is right. I hardly even smoke, actually. But it's coffee. He smokes coffee. Man, coffee beans. Smoke coffee beans. I would do that. I would totally do that. Let's do that. Let's make it happen, people. It's always coffee time. Bad influence. I have only tea and wine. No coffee or lager. Then I found Kahlua drinking it at noon. Yeah, Kahlua you can drink at any time of day. That's the danger. Have no lager or coffee. Wow. I am amazed. Tea and wine, though. You're a connoisseur. You're more of a classy right now. What I do is I keep different types of coffee in rows. So literally, I take the first one out, kind of like being in a supermarket. I take the first one out and then bring the others forwards. And I can't remember. I've got 3 rows. One is for the cafe lattes. One is for the medium blends, and the other one's for like this special brand tall can thing that I found on a cheap deal, which has quite an interesting flavor, a little bit sort of creamy flavor. I kind of prefer them more milky than creamy, but anyway, it's interesting. I always have like them stocked up in rows, and if I run out of one row, then I replace it with a new type of coffee or just the same type of coffee again. So yes, I am possibly addicted to coffee. Lazy Lion, West Side Story reference. Da, 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 Brain is trying to remember if I ever saw West Side Story. No, I don't remember West Side Story. I apologize. That's like one of those sacrilege things, isn't it? That's like saying that you never seen Star Wars or something like that everyone's seen. Yeah, apologies. I haven't seen West Side Story. So my brain is not up to date with these relevant, timely, current issues. Apologies. Scandal just cancelled 4 more shows, says Harry. Again, I understand why. It's a shame, but I understand why. It's Hibiki time. It's always Hibiki time. So, yes, that's the point. Let's have a little look and just check and see if I'm going to be keeping a constant eye now on Silent Sirens messages just to see if they are cancelling anything. Because when you're in Japan, if you've got Line app, which is basically like a messaging app, like the Facebook one or WhatsApp or whatever, you can kind of like it's kind of like that, but it's also got this Twittery aspect that you can kind of follow famous artists, and obviously usually Asian is a very Asian app. So if you follow those kinds of groups, and you just heard it beeping then, you can basically see their updates and everything, get special offers. So it's one that I use quite a lot, and I've got Silent Siren one on there, and I think Silent Siren are more active on the Line app than any other group. I mean, really, they just keep on sending messages. I mean, every day I've got like 3 messages from the Silent Siren official one. They just don't stop. So if anything gets cancelled, I'm pretty sure I'll know. But yeah, I've got to get all the way through to May without them cancelling my show. Oh my word. I really, really hope not. That would be really sad. But at the end of the day, like I say, it's kind of important that everyone's got to accept, obviously, the health risks. But I think it's more the inconvenience. It's more the fact it's screwing up the plans of people who've planned to do these things. And, it's just the inconvenience having it on everyone's life. It's not that anyone's saying it's not justified, but, to be honest, it still sucks. So, I feel really bad. I mean, there's a few people on this channel I've heard some really bad stories of not being able to do. I don't know if this is the cover for the new Silent Siren album. Kind of hard to see it because of the lens is too bright. Let me turn down the brightness a little bit. They've sent this as part of their blog. Let's turn down the brightness really low and see if that makes it more visible. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if that's just a poster, because when they did like a teaser reveal for the album. It was like the shortest teaser reveal ever. It was like a teaser for Hero. And this photograph, without the overlay, this photograph came up on the during the teaser. And I was wondering, it just sort of appeared like a sort of Microsoft Movie Maker PowerPoint presentation thing, and then disappeared. I was like, is that photo relevant? Is that the album photo, the cover photo? No, if it is, I would not have a problem with that. Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with this cover at all. This is a good cover. Yeah, I think we can all enjoy this cover, and yeah, good stuff. Oh, sorry, yeah. Da, 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 da. So actually, maybe if I read it, that would be a good idea. I'm going to translate with Japanese. Release cassette, like cassette tape, or like mixtape. Are they trying to imply it's a mixtape? The funny thing, that kanji there can mean like a million different things depending on what the symbol in the middle is supposed to be. And I know they've stylized the font here and put the thing in the middle to be like kind of funny, like an ear or something. But for someone who's learning kanji, I can't work out which center to that kanji that's supposed to be. So that could mean like about 5 different things. So yeah, actually wait, because it could just be listen, kiku, and because it's an ear. Actually, it's easier than kanji because they've actually signposted it by putting an ear there. I'm just an idiot. So listen, cassette. So like listening to cassette, and then the words wow, 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 wow. 2 albums, the ones that they don't really talk about. All right, let's see what everyone's saying here. Nihongo imasu ka? ちょっと日本語ができます。でも今勉強中。Yeah, doing it on a live stream is difficult. Too difficult. Sorry. I'll try my best. Harry, well, I will try maybe to learn, and then I'll do it. Yeah, I've been learning to use those. The problem, especially living in Hakuba. In Hakuba, all you got is tourists and bears. So learning Japanese here is kind of like learning Japanese in any other country that isn't Japan. Harry says, Rina maintains a blog online. Good choice. I think it's a really good place to do it, actually, and it's nice because you can like message all of your fans, but you know, you can choose to use it as a normal messenger, or you can set up like one of those accounts where you can just message out to all your fans without accepting any messages back. So it's a nice system. I think Line's quite good. The app is a bit of a pain in the ass to use, but it's a good system. By the way, if you're in here and you haven't pressed like, please press like. If you're enjoying this, like I say, it's all for the stats. We need to keep the stats up, so please press like if you are enjoying our little natter. Let's just check. I've got something randomly has come in. There's a guy on my Facebook, and every time he posts a picture, I get a notification. Even though I've asked for this not to happen, Facebook hasn't worked out yet. I don't want to get notifications every time he posts a picture. I didn't switch that on. Don't know how it's happening. Bubs, REM's tune "End of the World" is charting again. Billy Joel, we didn't start the fire is probably next. "End of the World" by REM is actually quite a good song, if I remember. Maybe I do remember it. Maybe I don't remember it. Do you know what? Actually, no, I'm thinking of a different song. I'm thinking of a song that doesn't sound anything like REM, actually. Wait a second. Let me just see if I can work out what this is. That's right. For some reason in my head, I'm thinking of Out With a Bang by the band Self. So when someone says REM's tune "End of the World," for some reason in my head, I hear Out With a Bang by Self. Probably because that line is in there, but yeah, that's what came to my mind now because that's going around in my head, and that song is really catchy. I now can't remember the REM tune, but yeah, I think I'm probably the only person who thinks that "We Didn't Start the Fire" is actually kind of an annoying song. I don't really like it, to be honest. So let's put together an apocalypse playlist. Well, there you go. I'm just going to put that Self song on there, Out With a Bang, and then we can add REM so I can remember what the song is, and then we can just think about all songs to die to. This is depressing. Let's not do that. So Tim says haha, but I don't remember what you said haha to. I'm just waving a stand at you. Sorry. So Lazy says, I think it's the we didn't start the virus. Yeah. Oh God, it's getting depressing. Bubs staying alive, barely. Oh my God. Come on, guys, cheer up. Thanks for the extra likes, by the way, guys. Keep those likes coming. Just like I say, if you're enjoying the conversation, it helps to keep the stats going on the channel. Harry says, Scandal now have their new own online radio program on the radio. Scandal on the radio. And we are soliciting the fans for topics to discuss. What are they? What are they? Well, I mean, is there like a remit? Is it just discuss anything? Because I hate to think that like the only thing anyone can talk about at the moment is bloody coronavirus. So I hope that they don't have to spend our entire radio show talking about that. Does it have to be scandal-related things? It'd be interesting to know if they have any particular remit for what kind of questions they're looking for. Otherwise, we can just ask them all kinds of things. Like we can ask them like questions that have nothing to do with scandal, just like random general knowledge questions. It's like, what is the speed of an unladen swallow? Let's just ask Scandal random questions that have no bearing on anything. Scandal. Okay, what I need right now is more coffee. My beautifully labeled Cafe Ole has run out. Cafe O empty. So I need to get me some Cafe Ole. Let's just actually, I went onto this Silent Siren Line app to see if they had posted anything about concerts. No, they haven't. Oh, here's some extra things. Hello, Moto. Big Billy Joel fan, saw him live, and I completely agree with you. Yeah, I mean, Billy, I got no problem with Billy Joel at all, but that song's just kind of just fine. But yeah, it doesn't really do anything for me, and I don't particularly find everyone thinks the lyrics are really inspiring as well, which I think, no, I don't find them particularly inspiring, and I think like Billy Joel has done much better than that. So yeah, I'm glad you agree. But that song never really did anything for me. Tim says, "Ha!" As in you had strange difficulty showing us the rest of the picture. Oh, that was a little bit earlier. I don't know how up to date the chat is related to what I'm saying. All I know is, I'm just going to be really clear, is that I think it's going to be a great album. I think it's going to be a great album, and I think they've really chosen their cover well. It's a great cover. It's like the best album cover ever. Give me a link for Scandal Radio. I'll find out what the limits of their AMA is. Hello, good. Hi, Sean. Sean, my number one disciple. Sean will be there with me at the Last Supper, which will most likely be in a chicken restaurant. So, yes, we should reenact the Last Supper before whatever the hell is going to happen to me. Harry, they didn't say they were off limit topics, but I'm sure they have their own unmentioned limits. Well, I wasn't going to go anywhere evil with it. It kind of sounds like what maybe was being implied there. But yeah, I want to ask them random stuff that just really, really confuses them. Like ask them science questions. Ask them where, if they know the how many digits they know pi to and stuff like that. These are the kind of questions that we need to ask Scandal. Actually, do you know what? I think it's actually kind of true. So many bands answer the same questions when they do interviews. Stuff like, all these sorts of, how did you get into music? What are your favorite bands? What are your inspirations? What do you like about going on tour? What's your favorite place? What's your favorite song? What do you think of this member? What do you think of that member? Can you tell us about the new album? You're so used to answering the same bloody questions that they probably would appreciate if someone came out of nowhere and just asked them the question that had nothing to do with their career. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should get interviews with just sit down and ask them questions that have nothing to do with their. Yeah, that probably wouldn't. Their manager wouldn't like that. You got some more ha-has. Thank you, Tim. Sean is smiling. Damn straight. Damn chicken better be deep fried. Of course, it'd be deep fried. I have an obsession with deep fried chicken. Even when I'm on a diet, still gonna have deep fried chicken. It's like everything, the rest of the diet will just be based around deep fried chicken. It's like, how can I compensate for all the deep fried chicken I like to eat? Bob says, if you keep doing that joke with the pick of the keyboard, where I am not, go ahead and make my day. I've still got just to annoy James, I've got my Ronald McDonald is Satan t-shirt. Why not? I actually realized the other day I went into a McDonald's. I went into a McDonald's. I was like getting one of those long distance buses. You know, when this was last time I went to Tokyo. I went into a McDonald's because it was right by them. I just needed something to eat quickly. And the usual thing, you know, so I go in and I'm not really familiar with the sort of McDonald's thing. So I go in there and I'm like, what do I want? There's all these different weird burgers and everything. I'm standing looking at it, and I didn't realize I had this shirt on. And when I look back down to like sort of go ahead and make my order, the woman behind the counter was looking at me like looking at this shirt. I'm not going to even try and explain this. So, so Sean is saying, Brocky, you okay? Brocky isn't on here. Brocky is an old mutual friend of ours. Brocky is not in this chat. What? Andrew White is saying, speaking from personal experience, when we do interviews, management restricts us to certain questions. In the interviews I've done with Japanese artists, I have never been restrained in advance. I have been told after certain interviews that certain questions and answers they didn't want posted, but I never had anyone tell me in advance not to ask something. I do believe that does happen, though. And I can imagine that happening. I can imagine those sorts of things coming up. But maybe it's just been the artists who I've talked to, but it's always been quite free and easy. And then afterwards, like someone from management will come up and just say, okay, you know, who's noting things down. I don't want you to use this one or don't use that one. But that is interesting. Yeah, I mean, I haven't personally experienced that, but I can definitely imagine that. So I'll see how that goes. But there are some interviews that I want to do that I'm lining up. And one of the interviews that I am currently lining up is for a group who talk to us personally quite often on this channel. So I get the feeling they'll be open for any questions that we may have. But no, I'm really looking forward to some fun with that. So Lazy is saying, Bakakami, doesn't sound right. Trying to remember what we're talking about. Bakakami, as in idiot god. As in God of idiots, as in why is my brain this bad? Why can I not remember simple things from what we're talking about? Yes. That doesn't sound right. Is this in response to what Sean said? I don't know. Let me know. 2 people left the room while I was thinking. That just shows how boring me thinking is. This is why I talk quickly all the time, because even if I'm not saying anything interesting, at least it's engaging to a certain degree. So where was I going with this? Yes, very interested actually to hear more from Andrew on that subject of on the topic of interviews. I haven't done many interviews with Japanese artists, but that's an interesting one. I'm interested to see how that goes, because obviously I've worked with the Japanese music industry here, but I wasn't doing the interviewing work in Japan. I was doing the interviewing work when I was living in London. Even starts, but that's like I say, that might just be a regional thing. You go to a different region and the same company rules, just because they accept things will be slightly different. Anyway, Bubs, talk to you personally on this channel. Quick, hide my videos before they say no to an interview. Talk to you. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I get you. You're talking about the artist. No, don't worry. The artist in question is not one that we harass at all. Maximum the Hormone. We're going to interview Maximum the Hormone. Actually, that's what we should do. Just turn up and just like an unannounced interview. Just turn up, boom, 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 and just ask them directly. It's like, hey, why did you strike our channel, bastards? Liz Line, yes, you're going to interview I Love Me. I am trying to organize something with that. I've got some of their concert dates and things ahead, but I know they posted a live concert recently. I know that they have, or on YouTube, they have been hit by the same thing as everyone else, the possibility of having to cancel all their shows. So I don't know if they actually have or not. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I am going to try and sort out some sort of interview with them with the help of a friend of mine who will be operating translator, just to be sure. So yes, hopefully I'll be able to hook up a nice interview with those guys. But also there's a few other bands who I've been asking around with. I think we get a lot of these bands, these smaller bands who we talk to, who we review and sometimes talk to, who are really good. I mean, like I Love Me is a group who I've really enjoyed. Necrai Talkie, fantastic. Yeah, Bubbles thought it was called Necro Toffee. That's right, Necro Toffee, Toffee of the Dead. No, it's not Necro Toffee, it's Necro Talkie. There's been loads of these little groups. I've enjoyed what I've heard from Alia. We've only done 2 songs from them, but I've enjoyed what I've heard. And there's a lot of these, Peggies as well. They're still relatively small. I want to sort of catch up to and talk to a lot of these groups, do interviews with them. And that might be something that we can hook up, maybe something that maybe they'll have more or less time to do, depending on the way the whole virus spread affects what artists do. I mean, there could be artists could just take the time out and decide to spend some time doing their own thing, or there could be artists who are literally sitting around waiting for opportunities to do something, promote their music. So it might be either a better or a worse time to hook up interviews. But yeah, that's what I definitely want to do. And I think Andrew probably would know a lot about that, actually. But all excited now. Well, if I can make it work. Bub says Necro Toffee for the win. Yeah. Andrew White at JRN, if we get an interview, we usually when they are touring abroad, and there are a few people involved, translators, promoters, etc. Again, every artist who I've done an interview with, there's never really been, obviously you get some similarities, but there's a lot of differences as well. I've interviewed a few American artists as well. And one thing I noticed is that the American artists, it's very, very relaxed. What basically usually happens is it's almost like a police interview. First of all, you talk to like the managers and everything. They'll sit down, they'll have a little talk with you, or they'll just talk to you while they're walking you through the venue or whatever around the back. And then shoot you. No, and then so you have it. With Japanese artists, there's usually, like you said, is someone who's usually there during the interview, usually sort of hovering around. I remember with Miyavi's team, everyone was very much kind of they stood really, really back. But with people like Kyary Pami, I remember that everyone was very forwards. I think for more obvious reasons, the representation were very close to her. Everyone was very much around her. I think this is tends to be the way. when we did that interview with depends what you want to call them, Zebrahead or Zebrahead, the American band, interviewed them 3 times, and that was like the easiest atmosphere. By the time because we got to know them quite well, so when we did the 3rd interview, it was literally a case of there was no representation or anything. We just called up the manager. Yeah, we know they're in town doing a gig. Can we interview them for this concert? It was like a festival. They said yes, and literally all they did is they just told us where the tour bus was, and we just walked straight onto the tour bus. So with like Western artists and American artists, you think can get like really relaxed, but I think with Japanese, it will always be kind of heavy. You get exceptions like that. Like bands like Lazy Guns Brisky, because they're quite small. Like so, just walked up to them, talked to them directly, like no problem, no one in the way. Shonen Knife went to the bar and had a drink. Simple as that. Obviously, their fame is more so, but they've been so you get very different approaches from most artists. But if an artist is kind of happening, actually, one of the interesting things when we interviewed Zebrahead the 2nd time, they were performing at the same venue as Man with a Mission, and so we were talking to both bands. And you could visually see there was such a big difference between the way everything works. Obviously with Man with a Mission, you're not allowed to see their faces, like the big wolf head things on and everything. So there was such that even made it even more so. So there was such a totally different vibe around both of the bands. And these are 2 bands written at the time, which is why they were touring together. It was really amazing to see just how different everything was between the 2. But anyway, there you go. Like I say, Andrew, I get the feeling he's got more experience doing this more recently and relevantly with Japanese artists. So, I like I say, I get the feeling that if anyone knows what's going on with this, it's you. Let's have a look at some of these. Awesome song of Necro Toffee we reviewed. Yes, the Necro Toffee, Necro Talkie, whatever you want to call them. That songs have done 2 of their songs, and they've been brilliant, both of them. I just love their sense of humor. I think it's going to become a bit like the Silent Siren thing, where sometimes even if no one's watching the reviews, I'm just going to review them anyway, just because I want to see some of their music, because it cheers me up. So you might as well share it with you guys. Really fun band, really enjoy them. So Harry's saying, I'd love to see you interview Scandal, Baby Metal Girlfriend, or Bandmaid, and Bandmaid, all of them. I would love to interview all of those artists. I really would. Chances of ever interviewing Baby Metal, extremely low for obvious reasons. Chances of interviewing Girlfriend, maybe higher. It all depends on their availability and what they're doing. But also remember, they're one of the groups who has one of those ones that is within the realms of possibility one day, so that would be great. And Bandmade as well. I mean, there's this old thing that they say that if you it's kind of like the online thing, you're kind of within range of someone if you have like 10% of their traffic. So for example, like Bandmade, I think their official channel has something like 250,000 subscribers. So I can't help but think that if we didn't have like 25,000 subscribers, that we would probably be unable to bridge that gap. I think we'd have to have at least 25,000 subscribers to appear on their radar. It's that kind of thing. It's that kind of interesting little point that kind of makes you think. It's obviously social media is just bigger than just YouTube, but it's the old rule. If you're within 10%, then you usually can reach out and grab something. So let's have a look here. So Andrew says, and it's true too that after you interview the back and forth process with on edits. Yeah, that's what I'm more used to. More used to. They'll go through the finished product a few times. I'll read the rest of Andrew's comments actually before I reply. Yeah, some artists are more free to talk about anything, and we enjoy those. You sent to Harry, I will be asking to interview those groups as well. So wish me luck. Yeah, good luck to you. I mean, if you're working for a group like, was it JPN, isn't it? If you're working for someone like them, then obviously, then you've got the clout of having those people to, if you're like, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically stand by your name, represent that I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Right on the tip of my tongue, very annoying. But yes, basically you are representing these people. Oh, I've just got a message come through. Is this someone? Please don't cancel any shows. Don't cancel any shows. Okay, so I had a message come through, and yet I look at my phone and there's nothing new on here. This is deeply irritating. This does not help me at all. Anyway, let's keep on reading. So Lazy says, I promise I will watch every Necry Talker reaction. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, I mean, these kind of I listen to and they just don't grab me. And so, I'm not going to pretend I like something that I don't like, but I give everything a good chance. With like Broken by the Screen, for example, I came, they're relatively popular now, but I came back and I gave them 2 goes. And then it was after, if I'm just not too into 2 songs, I maybe go for a 3rd one. But if I genuinely dislike a band on 2 listens, there is no point in me coming back, because then it's just going to be me battering an artist. For review, you consider, go Broken by the Screen. Someone else agrees. I really appreciate that you guys do that, and I think that's one of the strengths of the channel. I mean, if you like what we do, if you like the way that we do the reviews here, then I would like to think. I know there's a lot of people who just sort of come by, and I don't blame them. They check out the art. If I review an artist they like, they check it out. They want to see second opinions on things that they really enjoy. But one of the greatest things I think is when people use this channel to listen to stuff that they otherwise haven't heard, or maybe they want a second opinion on something they weren't so sure about, and they want to see if someone else agrees or disagrees with them. That's why I do so many artists on this channel. That's why I enjoy doing it that way, because I think that's what makes it really cool. That's what makes it really fun. That's what makes this all enjoyable, is the fact that you can enjoy the music you like and you can bring in new things. So groups, like I say, some of those groups, like Peggy's, Necry Talkie, I Love Me, these groups just, and they're not the only ones. There's a lot of them, a lot that I need to come back to. There's so many things I need to cover, as well as new artists coming back to artists we've heard before. But there's so much great stuff. Actually, the very first group I did a reaction video to, who I then covered exactly a year later, pretty much, Alexandros. I was listening to those 2 songs I heard by them, and I was like, wow, these 2 songs are really good. I need to check out more of this band as well. I mean, they're a bit more straight shooting, but I just kind of so catchy. And we're listening to like stuff like Yanakoto Sotomute, who, again, brilliant. Their music just so catchy, really infectious. And then you got some groups who are more experimental, who are doing more interesting sonic things, more playful stuff, like Always Forget Their Name, Sokoninaru, Passcode. These kind of groups who are doing stuff that's a little bit more unexpected. That's great, because it always keeps you like on edge. And Bish as well. I think Bish wonderfully actually balanced those 2 things between being catchy and totally unexpected as well. And like I say, so many cool things coming up with Bish, with the Aina solo project, Auni's Pedro doing a fantastic job with all their new releases, and Bish themselves teasing something coming out. So yeah, it's It's a good time to be into music. Good time to be into music. I wish there was a bit more Wagaki Band going on. But Wagaki Band have been they released that one song recently, Ignite, a few months ago, which I gotta admit I was not wowed by. It was good. It was good because, you know, they kind of like their core sound, you can't really let you down. I mean, you'd have to do something pretty bad to get a bad song out of just the sound they have. But it was like, it was not a huge wow moment for me. It was just kind of like, oh man, this is good sort of moment. It's more of that. Also, I'm enjoying checking out Scandal's new album. I can't obviously tell you guys too much because you got to wait for the reviews. But it wasn't what I expected at all. But at the same time, I was kind of expecting to be surprised because the whole ethos of the album before it came out was very much this sort of curious, experimental pop and funk and rock everywhere sort of thing. So I've been enjoying that. That's been really cool. Anyway, we're coming up to an hour. As you guys know, at the current moment, I'm keeping these as hour-long live streams. Obviously, we had James here the other day, so we could do a slightly. I said if my thing is not going to be forever, just like I say, give me like the next, probably in the next 2 weeks will be 1 hour ones again, and then maybe I can change it after that. But just like I say, give me a little bit of time at the moment, trying to sort out what I'm doing, sort out a few things, and then yeah. So next one is 22nd and then 29th, so those should be 1 hours as well. But then maybe in April, I'm expecting some changes that might help a lot. And might be able to go back to 2 hour ones. I'm getting more notifications about that guy on Facebook who I don't need notifications about. Gonna give, because it felt a little bit like I'd heard it before, but if you stripped away the sort of over familiarity of it, actually it was at its core a really good catchy pop song. So I think that only suffered from being kind of lost in a sea of similar songs by the same producer that easily could step in and replace it. So I do want to hear more of Daoko's stuff, maybe with other producers or with a bit of a difference. So yeah, that's another big thing that we've got to check out. There's so many artists I want to come back to, so many new artists I want to check out, so many new things coming out, so many stuff in the Reddit suggestion, so much going on all the time that it's impossible to stop. And live week will never end. Well, it will when I finish the list, but who knows? Every time I think I finish the list, I look at it, I go, oh no, there's a lot more on this list. So yeah, we'll get there. It'll all be done. Anyway, 4 minutes, guys. What are we going to wrap this one up with? Any interesting comments? Anything anyone want to dive into? Any subjects want to come up? Anything that you guys think is worth mentioning before we wrap this up? By the way, if you haven't pressed like and you're enjoying this conversation, please do. You know how this works. It's just really good for our stats. So I appreciate it if you can do that for me. I would be greatly appreciating that. So yeah, just let me know if there's anything in particular you want to talk about in the last couple of minutes before we time this one out. But yeah, I think as a general, I'm feeling kind of positive about a lot of things. You know, a lot of good stuff happening, a lot of good stuff coming up on the channel. And you know, I got just so much stuff going on. It's just the corona situation, the virus situation is affecting a lot of things in my life. I've got to be honest, there's a lot of things. It's not an illness thing for me, but a lot of things that I want to do that I can't currently do. And like I say, although they haven't cancelled it yet, I can't help but feel there is a relatively high possibility that those Silent Siren concerts in May will be cancelled. Although admittedly, I think it was last night when they did their album tease, they were still advertising those concerts. So it seems they're pretty confident that they're not going to get cancelled. So I'm feeling good about that. So Andrew White saying, stay safe and healthy. Andrew, I'm sorry, I probably asked you this before, and my total apologies if I have and I'm getting this wrong. I just kind of work under the assumption that you're in Japan, but you might not be. Let me know if you don't mind. Where are you located? You've probably told me this before, but apologies. I'm just kind of interested to know. But yeah, health-wise, we'll be fine. I mean, guys, just remember, I'm going to give you a link actually to something that my girlfriend sent to me, and I think this is. I put this on the Discord the other day, and I think this is really important because there's a lot of panic in the world. And yeah, the corona thing is really bad. Don't get me wrong. We need to be making sure everyone's safe and everything, but there are some elements of over exaggeration. And there's this great statistical website that's updated like hourly that gives you an idea of what's going on in the world. And it gives you all of the things about illnesses and deaths and all those sad things. But there's this last column that I think is really, really relevant. And I think it's worth looking at if you want to keep perspective on things. Just finding the link to this now. And basically, the last column in this chart showing all of the countries and all of the outbreak information is literally just, number of cases per million. And it's like super low. It's really, if you think about it, in any country you're in, even in the countries with the highest levels of the illness, the number of people who actually have it per million is really low. And we often think about a million as a huge figure. I mean, for example, in Japan at the moment, the number of cases is about 6 in a million. So your chances of actually catching the virus in Japan at the moment, based on the current figures, is 6 in a million. And that makes you really think about it. So I'm just going to send this through to you guys, hopefully with a little bit of perspective, I hope. Have a little look at that, and hopefully that will be a good one for you. Let's have a look at some of the comments that are coming through. But yes, thank you anyway. Like I say, I mean, everyone stay healthy and stay, sort of careful, but just say, don't panic. Like all of these things, basically the way it'll eventually go away is when it seeps into the human immune system. So it's going to have to work its way through the population to a certain degree, but slowing it down while it can be researched and helping people build up the immune system to it is the most important thing. Anyway, let's have a look here. It's a live week that never ends. It goes on and on. And yes, that's basically true. Bubs, when are we doing the back of cover album, and what would be on it? We've already been doing covers. I've got more of them coming up. I actually need to get on with that. I've been like halfway through doing that. I've really got to finish. Andrew's saying, no, I'm in the States. Texas, yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So you managed to pick up a lot of artists there. That's kind of cool, actually. A final live week, number 20, says Lazy Lion. Yeah, pretty much. Have you covered anything by Lipstick, Dizzy Sunfirst, or Babysitter yet? Not that I'm aware of. Some of those names have come up, actually. So if they are in the Reddit suggestion thread, then they will be checked out. If not, then drop some links in there. I am making my way through everything. Bubs is saying to Andrew, it's actually behind you. You're looking good, Andrew. You're looking good. Lazy Babysitter, that's worth one checking out. Tim, before I look, I think we are still under one in a million in the US. No, I think it's actually a bit higher than that. But still, I mean, like I say, I mean, even if it's like 50 in a million, still, I mean, a million is a vast number. I mean, if someone said something was 1 in 1,000, then you'd be thinking, oh, I'm pretty safe. This is 1,000 times that. So let's have a little look. I'm just going to check this for you guys. So I'll just quickly read out these figures so you guys get a feeling. I'll just mention a few countries. Apologies if I miss yours. So the highest one at the moment by far is Italy, which is about 350 people per million have the illness. But still, even then, that is still a third of 1,000, a third of 1 in 1,000, 1 in every 3,000, basically. So let's look down the list and let's find some countries that we know. In China, well, China's got a huge population, so when it says 56 in a million, that's that's not so. It's a bit misleading actually because the country is so huge. But I have to scroll down a long way to find anything of relevance. Germany, it's a 50 in a million chance. It's nothing. So we'll look through here. Going down, UK is currently, well, the UK one was yesterday morning, it was 5 in a million. Now it's 17 in a million. So that figure's going up quite a lot. But still, 17 in a million is not a big figure. USA stands at 7.5 in a million. Japan, 6.4 in a million. So Japan actually has less coronavirus than either the US or the UK. But a lot more scare here at the moment, all until about this week, actually, when it became really, lots of scare mongering happening in other countries. But yeah, I mean, it's like I say, it's important to keep perspective, but the figures are really low. Flattening the curve, says Andrew White. I just got a weird comment coming in. Let's see what this is. Someone has commented on one of the videos, and for some reason it flashed up right in front of the live chat. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually the comments from videos get hidden in the corner a bit. One thing I do want to mention, by the way, since we've got this copyright strike, as you guys might be aware, the copyright strike does basically lower YouTube's interest in sharing our videos. So if you like anything we post, obviously don't put yourself out, but if you like anything we post, please do consider sharing it. It's just good for the channel. So, you know, if you like something, then please do think about sharing it. But, you know, no stress. Do whatever works for you. Harry, I'm currently ill, but fairly sure I have the flu, as my roommate was diagnosed with the flu yesterday. Woke up sick today. Going to see my doctor on Monday. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. I think, you know, I mean, like I say, there's been one of the things that's interesting is there's probably been, as a lot of sort of scientists are surmising, you click on the one which says about mortality rate, and you'll get a real idea for how it works. It's like, you know, of the people who catch it is something like the age of 50, your chance of actually dying from it is 0.2%, even if you catch it. You know, it's something really low. But the figures are hugely bolstered by obviously how much more it affects the elderly. But when you consider your age as a factor, it massively changes your chance of actually being significantly negatively affected by it. So, yeah, just keep that in mind as well. There's probably a lot of people who've had it and literally shook it off. So it does happen. We'll end this one fairly soon as we're up to an hour and 5 minutes. But let's have a look at some of the other things people are saying. Lazy Lion saying, I'm recovering from a bad flu at the moment. It might be corona. I haven't got the results of the test yet. Fair enough. Do check it. Well, if you've had the test, then you'll know. But yeah, best of luck either way. But if you're recovering, you're recovering. So, and the good thing is if you're recovering, that means your body's building an immune system. So you are doing a lot of help for the world and for the herd immunity or whatever they call it. Phil Bill, when Mies knows the Mies got that virus, moi will dine on lobster washed down with industrial strength bleach. Wish me luck. Take, but I do hope that works out for you, and do keep this noted as well. But I'm sure you'll be fine. If you're recovering, you're recovering. And like I say, the mortality rates, just keep it in perspective. Obviously, it's important to stop the spread of it, but do not go around freaking out. The chances of you actually dying from this thing are incredibly low. But you don't want to have a bad week, and you don't want to give anyone else a bad week. Anyway, there we go. That's the end of the live stream for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already pressed like, which it seems most people have, do truck us a little like at the end there. Just as we're ending, we've got a message from Jens Jefferson. Hello. Way ahead of you with sharing. A friend of mine is now a huge Babymetal fan, but thank you. Thank you. Even though I've only just replied to you right as the video is ending, thank you. That's exactly the sort of thing that I really appreciate. Because like I say, I mean, just go around to that whole Maximum the Hormone thing again. Yeah, if they want to believe that we're trying to screw them over, fine, but we're here. So you get people like that who are enjoying new music, then I am happy. So massive thanks to you very much for that, Jens. Jens Jefferson. I think I'm saying that right, Tim, if I'm saying your name wrong. Thank you. A Lazy Lion, I heard toilet paper helps. Toilet paper fixes all things. That's why everyone's buying it all. It's the miracle cure for all illnesses. PK, good Nacht. Schlaf gut. I'm guessing that means something was good. It was good. I'm guessing. I hope. Only in large quantities, says Harry. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. You have a lovely day. Thanks so much for conversing as well. If you were just here quietly watching, then hello. You have a good evening as well, or good day, or whatever time it is for you. And thank you as well for everyone who checked out me and James's little oddity video, as well as the reaction. If you haven't checked it out, there was a reaction video went up directly after that, which was the reaction to the We Are Bed In. And if you want to see something really kind of weird, that's worth checking out. So, matane, said Lazy Lion. Indeed, matane. Thanks so much. You have a wonderful day. Until I see you soon from now in Japan. Ciao, ciao.